I'm so tired. I've barely eaten today and I took like a 4-hour nap. All I've been doing is watching Kotiko. I have my windows open to get some natural light, even though the sun's basically setting, and these like 8 to 10-year-olds after school always like play out here, and it's so weird for me personally. Hi friends, welcome to Bookmas Day 12. Today we're going to be talking about the most surprising, the most disappointing reads of 2023. So we're going to start with the most surprising reads. These are just reads that like I picked them up and I wasn't super expecting to love them as much as I did. Or they just, I don't know, they just came out of nowhere and wowed me. So the first one we have is, if I talk about this book one more time on this channel, I swear to God, Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I have a hard time with fantasy. That these next two are fantasy, and that's kind of why. But this one is just a very deeply intense fantasy in that it's the first one I've read where it's like the world building is big, I guess, and there's like a magic system that you have to like learn and understand. I remember reading this, I had a whiteboard out and I was like taking notes and like writing people down. That's the only way I was able to keep track. I should have done that for Crescent City because that was hard to understand. Anyways, this was a 5-star read, although I didn't read the rest of the series. I just feel like it's a perfect book by itself, and so I was very surprised. The next surprise was just the ACOTAR series. I just grabbed my favorite one that Nathan's in the middle of right now. Again, fantasy other than like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson have never really been my thing. So ACOTAR was the first book in a while that was like a fully not in the human, like Harry Potter and Percy Jackson still take place in our universe. You know, this is a completely different thing. And obviously I loved it. I have an ACOTAR tattoo on my arm. I can't think about the series too much or I start to cry. This is my favorite one. This one is 5 stars. And this one and the third one are 5 stars. The first one is 4. The fourth little novella is 4, and Silver Flame's 2.5. Maybe I should have put that on disappointing, just because I can't. The next surprising read was Love in a Time of Zombie Apocalypse. This was during my fan fiction phase this year. I just kind of, before this year, I never really read a fan fiction and been like, wow, that was amazing. And it was a zombie apocalypse. Like, that's what really like stopped me from reading it for such a long time, is it was recommended a ton on like all of the TikToks that I saw and Reddit posts. Like, everybody loved it, but I was like, that doesn't make any sense, like a zombie apocalypse. But I bit the bullet and I downloaded it and I read it, and it was amazing. It was so good. Like, they like integrated the zombie into the wizarding world so easily that it just kind of made sense. I mean, there are already like undead, right? Like, where's that Inferi? I feel like there's zombies. Are there zombies in Harry Potter? Inferi. Basically zombies. Okay, anyway. It was very good. The whole Draco-Hermione relationship was so good and so cute, and it involved a lot of like other characters and had like a good like overall plot without feeling like Hermione was getting lost in it, you know? Then we have Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score. This is just surprising to me because it's so massive. And I brought it to Utah with me when we were on a family trip, and I just kept not reading it because I was like, it's just so big. Like, it's a romance, but it's massive. Like, how am I ever going to get through this? And now it's one of my favorite books of all time. I eventually started reading it, and I read it in like 2 days because it's just that freaking good. It's like double annotated now. It's got dog ears and tabs and highlights and pen, and I love this book. It's the first like really big romance I've read. I feel like there's others now. No, this is probably the biggest romance I've ever read. Next, we have Assistant to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. If you've watched any of my videos, you know I'm obsessed with this book. But I picked it up because it's really pretty, the cover's really cute, and I figured it'd just be kind of like a goofy, fun little read. But it is so, I mean, it is funny, obviously. It's called Assistant to the Villain. It's hilarious, but it's also like so full of heart, and the characters are so good. And I was just so emotionally attached. Like, I did not expect to be crying at the end of this, and I did not expect to care so much about these characters. And it's just a 5-star, 6-star read. It's so, so good, and I can't wait for the second book. The last surprising read is another fan fiction. It's Measure of a Man. It's another Hermione fan fiction. This is the one where Narcissa Malfoy has, oh my gosh, Alzheimer's, I think. And Hermione, after Hogwarts, became like a healer specializing in chronic conditions, chronic and fatal conditions. And so she gets hired, and she's almost like a live-in health assistant. Like, she's there every morning to make breakfast. She makes all of her meals. She does all of this stuff. And Narcissa lives in Malfoy Manor with Draco and Draco's little boy Scorpius from his previous marriage to Daphne Greengrass, I think, who died a couple years before the story starts. And it's just so, so good. The like father-son story, the like Hermione with Scorpius story. Apparently the book is longer than War and Peace, and I read the whole thing. And it's so good. I think it's like the most like in-depth like relationship I've seen between Hermione and a fan fiction. Now we're gonna do some disappointing reads, and I feel like I'm gonna get bullied. The first one is, you know, this is My Favorite Half Night Stand by Christina Lauren. I just picked it up because I was in the mood for like a fun little rom-com. It looks really cute. It had like the big like summer themed cover. It's pretty bad. I think I gave it 1 star. It's about this like friend group. They're all like professors at a university, and when the girl spends like a night with a guy in the friend group, and then they're like, okay, nothing's gonna come out of this ever, like let's never speak of it again. And then the entire group decides to try online dating, and they like approve each other's profiles and stuff. But the girl catfishes him. The girl creates a fake identity, and it's really bad. It's really bad, and it upsets me a lot because you also get the guy's point of view, and you see him like so conflicted about like this girl that he had a one-night stand with that he's like falling for in the friend group and being worried about ruining the friendship. But then also he's talking to this girl that he's really connecting with on whatever dating app. And it's mean. It's just mean. This one's controversial, but Happy Place by Emily Henry. I said it before and I'll say it again. I'm going to reread this book at some point. I just wasn't a big fan of it. Like, I felt that this entire book's a miscommunication trope that never gets resolved fully. And the friends are just kind of meddling. Like, everyone was like, it's just about like a really good friend group. And I was like, are they good friends? Because they're kind of like keeping secrets and lying to each other and like meddling without knowing exactly what's going on. Like, the premise is that they were engaged, married. They'd been together for years and years and years and years, and they broke up 5 months ago and never told their best friends. And so they have to pretend they're like fake dating at the like vacation. Your friends can't be that good if you're not telling them. Like, if your first call is not to your best friends after you break up with someone you've been with for your whole life. Next is Wildfire by Hannah Grace. This book was 2 stars, 2.5 stars, which isn't like really bad, but because Icebreaker was 5 stars, I was kind of disappointed. I think there just wasn't any plot in this, and I've heard people have the same critique about Icebreaker, but I feel like Icebreaker, especially like the Aaron plotline, had a lot of conflict and plot. But that's just me. But this just felt like they both had really bad daddy issues, and they didn't want to talk about it. And he's perfect. He's honestly just a perfect man, and she's great. I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't buy it. I was bored. I was skimming. Next, Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Hold on. Nathan's on his way home. Next is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. Again, I have a whole spoiler review on my channel, but this book just felt long. It ruined Violet for me, honestly. Like, Violet from Fourth Wing and Violet from Iron Flame are not the same person. And I don't know. I didn't like it. I felt like everyone was stupid and that they were like trying to fit in like plots that just don't matter. Like, we're at war, people. I saw somebody leave a review that was like, all I took away from this book is that Violet has time to shave her during war times. I was like, that's so true. I don't know. It wasn't my favorite. After loving Fourth Wing so much and like having multiple copies of Fourth Wing, like double annotating it, doing like a couple hours long video recapping it, I was upset. We also have The Bully from the Calamity Springs series. I like binged this whole series in like a week, which I do with a lot of Daphne Perry books. This one is just on the Kindle. I have the whole Eden series, except for the one that came out like yesterday. But for some reason this, anyways, that doesn't matter. I'm so tired. Okay. The Bully is about these two people who are like vaguely connected to somebody who's already in the series, which is kind of how these series go. So it's one of the guy's best girlfriends who works for him and the guy's other best friend, and they all went to high school together, and I guess he picked on her in high school, but when you read the book, it's kind of like, did he? Like, he said like one kind of shitty thing, but what 15-year-old boy hasn't? And she is so mean to him. Like, present day. Like, we're grown-ups now. She is so mean to him. And this poor guy's been through so much, and he's just trying to live his life, and she's being so mean. I like hated her the whole time. That was a 1 star. I don't even remember if I finished it or not. Last we have Meant to Be by Emily Giffin. I was really excited going into this one because it's kind of advertised as like a Kennedy-esque love story. Like, it says the Kingsley family's American royalty, Joseph S. Kingsley Jr. Like, it was giving Kennedy, and it was like, it's kind of like a Kennedy story, and the Kennedys like always fascinate me in like love stories and true crime stories and all that kind of stuff. I'm obsessed. This was basically a biography with different names. Like, it was, I knew after like 100 pages, I was like, oh, this is just the story of Robert Kennedy Jr. It's just a story I've already heard. I know everything that's going to happen, and I knew everything that was going to happen. Nothing surprised me. I was bored. I didn't even really believe the couple, to be honest. I was just kind of like, hi.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm almost done.
Yeah. Cheer you up real quick.
Show them your glasses.
Twice. And he would have been dark chamber to try on the red lace set I'd eyed thrice now. And when I emerged, mustering up more bravado than I felt, Reese would have looked me up and down. Twice. And he would have kept staring at me as he informed the shop ladies that the store was closed and they should all come back tomorrow and we'd leave the tab on the counter.
Well, I get it now.
Yeah. Are you obsessed?
A little bit.
Do you want to come do my outro for me? I actually like literally just finished.
Oh, nice. Yeah, what's the outro?
Those are my most surprising and disappointing reads from 2023.
Those are the most surprising and disappointing reads from 2023 for Kylie.
Thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks, Bubba.